think my mic is muted, but I'm going to start now anyway in case that was done. But welcome back to the Football Terrace. The Ballon d'Or nominees are out. The Ballon d'Or nominees have been announced, the 30 top players of the world. They're here for us to vote, place, rank, debate over this evening on this Friday night. Of course, with no real football. It's the international break. No one really cares about that. Very, very excited indeed to go through this. We've got a brilliant panel. As you can see, if we look on the screen here, we're going to be picking our winner, the top 5, top 10, top 20. And we've got a little section for shouldn't be included. All the nominees are here. You can see them all. Aspie. You've got a bit of Lewandowski here. We've got a little bit of Mason Mount. A little bit of Haaland. Sterling down there. Cristiano. We're going to be going through it in detail tonight with you live on the air. I've got a brilliant, brilliant panel on with me as well. First of all, here making one of his sort of panel debuts, really, man. Like, oh my, Dizzy in the house, hair looking legit wavy as well there. Man like Daniel's here again to give us his views, give us his opinions. He's taking his notes. He's ready tonight. He's back with earphones tonight. No hood, but the glasses remain. Latimer's Prime is in the house. Ray-Bans as well, brother. Or are they Pay-Pans? We don't know. We can't see. They look like Ray-Bans from there, though, my brother. I always remember going to Turkey. The funniest thing I ever saw was walking past one of the shops in Marmaris. And the man says, come into my shop and buy some Ray-Bans. I said, I'm fine, thanks. He went, no, trust me. They are 100% genuine fakes. The funniest line ever. So I went and bought some because he admitted they were fake. This guy gets called fake a lot, to be absolutely honest with you. It's man like Igao. He's in the house. Hair's looking trim, ready to go tonight. And we haven't got Lee Gunner on tonight. We've got his little brother, Gooner Express, is in the house, ready to represent all of those Arsenal players that are on the list tonight, which is none, by the way. Make sure you're smashing that like and share button. Get your super chats in as well to push your favorite player up and down. You know how the tiering shows work on the Football Terrace. So get that done for us right now. Evening, gentlemen. How are we all doing today?
I'm Gucci, man.
Good.
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good.
Good. Yeah. Come on, guys.
I've got a question before we start the debate. There's something that's been circulating on socials all week about modern day players, and I wanted to ask your opinions on this. Is football harder now than it was 20 years ago?
I disagree.
I disagree.
I think it's easier. And let me explain why. I think the reason why football is easier is because players are more aware of how to take care of their body. They're more aware of sports science. They're more aware of analytics to see where they should be taking shots from, how they should be improving their games. They're given so much more information in today's game to make their game easier for them and to make their games more catered to how they can succeed. Where in the past, everything was based off trial and error yourself. If we're talking so far back where people weren't even having coaches to tell them what to do and how their opponents are going to play, you have to literally write everything on a piece of paper on how your opponent would play and be prepared per game. Where now you're given video footage, you're given everything, every error you make, every ball you kick, you can rewatch it at the end of the season. Where before you wouldn't be able to do that.
That doesn't make it easier.
I agree with it.
I could pose the same argument that the fact that teams that maybe don't have the same amount of talent but can take in and consume that information that they get against a better side, they're able to apply that because they're taking in that information. And then on a day where the talent isn't enough for that opponent, the lesser side wins because they have that information available to them. Exactly. Surely that can make it harder for one. To me personally, I don't think there's an answer to that question. I think every era
is different.
It's very, very different. And every era has come up through their own trials. And that's a large part of the reason why when we do cross-compare players between eras, it's always difficult. And there is a little bit of preference in every argument when it comes to comparing players, in my opinion, anyway. So, that's just my thing.
You know what I found with this conversation? I've found usually people tend to side with wherever they became like a lover of football or whatever sport it is that they like. So if you grew up on Ronaldo, like when he was at United the first time, that was your favorite era, or that's the hardest era, that's the most difficult era. If you fell in love with the 90s, that was the hardest era. That was the best era. I found that's usually how it goes.
I agree. I think people will basically go, what era is my favorite player from? That's the era that I'm going to say is hardest. I saw an Arsenal fan's face earlier on in the week when they'd spent about a month saying that it's harder now than ever before. And I'm like, you do realize that means it's easier now to push Henry off of his goat post. And you could see their brain going, oh my God, what have I just done? And it's like, do you know what I mean? So I don't necessarily think it's easier or harder, because you're right. There's more analytics now. But then, so a striker, you might think that's easier. So a striker knows where to shoot from, but a goalie knows where to stand. Defenders, like both, it's equal. Like both teams are playing on flat pitches, lighter balls, easier boots to run in. They've all got that. So it's equal in terms of that, but the game has changed, positions changed. You know, the inside forwards weren't a thing. It used to be one or two strikers. You know, left and right-sided wingers used to be 30 yards deeper than they are now. So the kind of outputs of players has changed. I don't necessarily think it's harder or easier. I think it's I think it's fairly equal in relation to that.
Even what's it called, the variations in formations. Like back in the 90s, it was 4-4-2. No matter who you're going to play, it's 4-4-2. Now you have to game plan for the 3-5-2. You got the 4-1-2-1-2. You got there's so many. You got the 4-3-3. It's a different ball game. But I don't think either is right or wrong, to be honest.
I hear you on that, and I just wanted to throw that in as a starting gambit. There is some breaking news as well this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll read more about this later, but this has just come out that the 19 other top flight clubs in the Premier League, so all 19 of Newcastle's competitors, have called for an emergency meeting with the Premier League to raise complaints about Newcastle United's takeover. And an emergency meeting is being scheduled for next week. Now, I don't know if they've got any power to stop it. Because I'm not too sure that the clubs have, although that there has to be a vote in for certain rule changes and everybody's an equal partner, I don't think they can stop that from happening. But it does appear the other top 19 clubs are angry about this. We'll bring you more on that as it develops. I'm going to read the article a little bit later on this evening, but I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Why are you surprised? This is you have owners who are American owners who have American franchises, and in those situations, if a new owner was to come in, they always have a voting rule where they vote that person in. Where in the Premier League, they're watching their competitors get more money than them.
I understand that, but my point is, you've got two owners, for instance, in Roman and the Sheikh, who I'm surprised 19 have done it, because you know it's a bit weird for. Imagine Chelsea and City being against like oil money.
19 is all of them bar one team. Is that what that means?
Newcastle.
Well, it's 19 other. It says 19 other top flight clubs. That means Newcastle.
It's a bit late.
And then one other one was like it's okay, but everybody else is like
no. That means
as in only Newcastle.
Only Newcastle. Yeah. All 19 other top five clubs.
Bad. My maths is wrong. Wow.
I mean, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Like it's already happened, so I don't know what they expect to do. Like I don't.
It's not officially done. Yeah. In my opinion, it pretty much is. If at the end of the day, if all the owners tried to do something, they could maybe stop it. You never know.
I don't know. I don't know if they can.
I doubt it.
What it does mean is don't ever expect FFP to change.
Yeah.
Because even the one thing I would say about Man City and Chelsea, if FFP got scrapped tomorrow and clubs could spend whatever they want, no one can compete. This is how rich the Crown Prince is. If he lost someone gave me the math today, if he loses 97.3% of all his money, he's still wealthier than all the others. If he loses I think it's up to like 83% of all of his money, he's still wealthier than the rest put together. No one will be able to compete. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting what happens there. But we're going to get into this debate now. The first part of this round is kind of putting the people into the category of shouldn't be there. We're going to strip out at least 10, maybe even 15 people that we might strip out instantly and straight away in this. So we're going to jump straight into that. I'm going to put this view onto the screen so I can see everybody's faces, etc. Get those super chats in for us as well, please, ladies and gentlemen. Right, but first and foremost, I'm going to go to a gal, and I'm going to give you one that I think a lot of people are a bit for. Lautaro Martinez, does he deserve to be in the top 20 in your opinion?
No, he does not. I would put Lautaro Martinez in. He shouldn't be there. I think winning the Serie A is a great feat, but I think they failed in Europe this season, this past season. Also, yes, he won with Argentina, but he wasn't the main guy. I know he was the main striker, but he wasn't performing well as the main striker by himself. Messi and everybody else were pulling a lot of the weight. I think there is a case to put him in the top 20, but no, he shouldn't be there.
I hear you on that. Gunnar Express, Luka Modric.
Top 20, no. Obviously, Madrid didn't win, I don't think, any trophies this year or anything of any like major note. I don't even think he's. Look, I haven't watched too much Madrid, so I'm not going to try and talk like I do know a lot about what he's done this year. But again, they didn't do well in the Champions League, or they could have done better. Croatia have massively struggled this year, just as a nation. And then again, like as I said, they didn't do too well in the league in terms of they let their rivals win the league. So for me, no, he doesn't deserve to be in the top 20.
Okay. Oh my Dizzy. Who am I picking next that may not deserve to be there? Yeah, Phil Foden. Great shout, Phil Foden.
No, man, no. Come on, let's move on. Next question. Get him out of here. No.
No to Phil Foden. Well, I can't. I see. There he is. There's Phil Foden. He's been put there. Okay, so no to Phil. No to
Why
Phil
is he even on
Foden.
the list?
I mean, I didn't vote it. I didn't vote him. Daniel, who would be your first pick? Who would be your first pick to get him to not be in the top 20, Dan?
To not be in the top 20, I'd probably put Donnarumma. I think he had a good Euros, but I think I don't think he's in the top 20. I think there are 20 players that have Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma was excellent in the Euros, but
yeah, I agree with that.
To say that he was excellent all year, or to say he was the best keeper all year, I disagree with that. I think Edouard Mendy deserves to be on the list. If we're talking about provisional list, I'm not saying he deserves to be in the top 20. I'm not even saying he's the best keeper in the world, but I definitely think he had a better year than Donnarumma when you consider how well Chelsea played as soon as he came in, the clean sheet record that he had with the Champions League. He's actually broken that record. And the amount of goals conceded from January up till now, I still think Mendy has the least goals conceded in all of Europe and the most clean sheets in all of Europe. So Donnarumma, great Euros, but I don't think he should be top 20.
Okay, the only reason why I disagree is because when you look at that list and you see the list of names, you could have easily picked Nicolas Barella. You could have easily picked Azpilicueta. You could have picked other people who you could have said don't go on that top 20.
There's other guys that are going to go in the not top 20. I just picked Donnarumma. It's not anything against him.
Hey, you're going to find it.
Okay. Prime, who would be your first pick?
Raheem Sterling. I think he hasn't been great from Man City the past season or the past calendar year or this calendar year. I know he scored goals in the Euros for England, but all round, I don't think he was that great either. And obviously he started the season and he's been poor. So
yeah, I agree. England form only, really. My first pick, and it's going to be a controversial one, but I don't care. Simon Kerr, I think that's how you pronounce it. Look, what he did to help save the life and dignity and of his friend, and the way he comforted his friend's wife and everything is so commendable. Give him, as I think we said backstage, give him a special award, commend him and celebrate that. But that doesn't make him one of the top 30 players in the world. And the interesting thing for me in including him is, like I said, I've been saying for weeks when it comes to personal awards, and that's why we're doing it different tonight on the terrace. It's a popularity contest. Like, legit, the guy might not even be in the top 5 or 6 players in his club team, let alone 30 players in the world. And again, because of the popularity that he suddenly gained, it's like, I will stick him in that list. For me, it is wrong. He should be getting a special award for what he did, because what he did was special. It was beyond being a captain. But yeah, not in the top 30 players for me. Igal, who would be your next pick for not being in the top? By the way, if someone picks your guy you think should be, when it comes to placements or trump cards later, you can move them. So Igal, who would you not put in that top 30?
Okay, Azpilicueta. I think Azpilicueta, just because he won the Champions League doesn't mean he deserves to be in the top 20 players. This is an individual award. I get the team things come into a play also. But Azpilicueta has been chopped and changed a lot. He was not an integral side to Chelsea throughout the whole entire season. And Spain, yes, he was an integral side to Spain, but Spain also got knocked out. They did not win in the Euros. So I'm going to put Azpilicueta in there.
Interesting take. Gunnar Express back with you. Who'll be your next pick?
Riyad Mahrez. I think Mahrez, I love Mahrez. So before anyone tries coming at me, I do love Mahrez. But let's be honest, he's only in the nominations for that free kick against PSG. Like, he's been good, but has he been top 20 in the world? No. And I think a lot of people are going to have to realize that we're talking about the top 20 in the world here. So like me putting Mahrez not in the top 20 doesn't mean I'm slandering him in any way, but there's just 20 players for me that are better than him and have been better than him for the calendar year. So yeah, Mahrez for me in the not in the top 20.
My brother Slens here says this panel is missing. Liverpool fans need to educate them not to base people's ability on their individual awards. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo winning the Player of the Month award is just another little nail in the coffin to these personal award arguments. Like, he doesn't deserve it, but yet he wins it. And the thing is, in 3 years' time, when it comes to adding up all of Ronaldo's awards, people will forget that he didn't deserve that one. Like, this has been going on since, and I'm going to say this nicely, guys weren't even born, and I was witnessing this happen. My dad used to witness this happening and was like, how did this guy get nominated instead of this person? Popularity doesn't mean that we shouldn't enjoy these things, but yeah, you're right. It's key, and I love that it happened, and I love that it happened to a United player over a Liverpool player. Like, how is he better? I'm like, the awards are the awards, bro. The awards are the awards. Next, I'm going back to my Dizzy. Who would be your next pick? We've got 7 currently. Sorry, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 8 in there, so there's 2 more to take out of the top 20.
I got 2 that I want to get off, but it's a bit controversial. I'm not gonna lie. If we're basing it off of the last season in its totality, I'm throwing Kevin De Bruyne or Harry Kane in there. One of those got to get in there.
It's 2021. It's not. It's the calendar year.
Oh, it's the calendar year. Oh, okay, then get Harry Kane out of there then.
Harry Kane was one of the best players, even though
No, he wasn't.
Statistically, he was.
How was he not?
Harry Kane is a fraud. I'm gonna say it. Somebody has to say it. He's a fraud. It is what it is. You
can't score 30 goals though, and not like he did.
Listen. I'm here with you. I call him a fraud for not winning trophies. This is the Ballon d'Or.
Hear me out. Did you man watch the Euros? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the level of performance when we needed him the most? Did you see what he was doing? Bare goose eggs, fam. Bare zero, bare missing, and then Raheem Sterling would score a goal, and then Harry Kane would get the second one. Everybody, Harry Kane, he's a UK golden boy, and nobody wants to talk about it, bro. He's a fraud. I'm putting him in there. If you want to vote him out, be my guest to use your little trump card in that. Harry Kane getting in there.
So Igal, you're backing Harry Kane to be in the top 20.
Listen, once again, I'm for as much as people say I'm trying to be biased, I don't like Harry Kane. I think he personally, I think he should be winning trophies, and leave Spurs, and that's what's holding him back from being in the higher up on this list. But based on his individual performance this calendar year, there's no way you don't put him in the top 20.
Bro, it's almost.
So I think, Terry, you need to show that list, because I'm not sure if he's seen some of the names on that list. If you look at some of those names, you're telling me that you would take Harry Kane out for Nicolas Barella because Nicolas Barella won the Serie A and he won the Euros. You're gonna take.
Well, I think a question I'm going to ask you, Igal, is you just said that we know Harry Kane needs to leave to go win trophies, but then obviously Barella went and won the trophies. Mm-hmm. When you look Igal at these players, what's the key driver in them being the best players in the world? What is the key driver for you as a person?
Performances, statistics, outputs, and also when everything is close, then you look at trophies. So in his position, Harry Kane statistically is one of the best players.
So statistically, yes. Did he put the performances in for you in the big games?
But this is
what he did for Tottenham, what he did throughout the season, and what he did in big parts throughout.
That isn't the question.
They finished one ahead of you, man. What did he do for Tottenham? Answer
my question. Did he, in your opinion, stop beating around the bush? And I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm trying to understand. In your opinion, did Harry Kane perform? Firstly, he got the stats, so he's got that box ticked. Did he perform in the big games for you?
I don't know about big games, but when it comes to
he goes to the Carabao Cup final, remember?
But when it comes to looking,
you can't say that. He just came out from injury. You can't say that.
Listen, if you guys want to set criteria, let's set criteria.
There is no criteria. It's about you making your argument.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So personally, in my argument,
performances, I'm asking, did he? So the point is, if you say stats and he's got stats, it's there. If you say performances, it's when were these performances? You then said trophies, then separate people.
At the beginning of the Premier League season.
So no, it's 2021. So from January till now.
Okay, so from January till now. So we're not looking at the totality of last
No,
season.
because it's the Ballon d'Or is 2021. It isn't last season. It's from 2021. So when he started the campaign, he got 5 assists in a game. That don't count in this conversation.
Get him out of there.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to do that, I don't really mind.
There's no doing it. If you want him in, I'm just trying to understand what you think he's done to be in the top 20. I'm not trying to catch you up.
The reason why I put him in
questions
there, the reason why I put him in there is because when it comes to statistical output and outputs for a team to help a team, you take Harry Kane out of that team, it means more than if you take out some of those other players.
But hear me out though. We're talking about so let's break it down like logistically what it is, what 2021 is. So you got the start of we got the back end of last season, we got the Euros, and then we got the start of this season. Harry Kane was only good for 1/3 of that. Get him out of here. Next person, please.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's debatable. You can say whether Harry Kane should be in the top 20 or top 10. But to say he's a fraud, to say that Harry Kane's a fraud, I think that's massively disrespecting him. He's one of the best strikers in the world. You can't say that about him. I know, but you can't say that. No, but he's not a fraud though. He's one of the best strikers in the world.
How many are you allowed in that conversation?
Who do you support? Who do you support?
Me, I'm a United fan.
And if you didn't get Ronaldo, of course, it wasn't predicted. Harry Kane wasn't your option.
I'll take you before I take Harry Kane.
Jesus Christ.
See now you're okay. You see, you're exaggerating now. You're not having a serious conversation.
No. Jokes aside, though, I'm not taking Harry Kane. No, I'll take Lukaku before I take Harry Kane.
No, you wouldn't. No, no, you're capping. I wanted Kane.
Hand on heart, I take Lukaku back.
Nah, you're mad. I wanted Lukaku over. Sorry, I wanted Kane over Lukaku. You're capping. You're saying that, bro. He's better. Nah, okay, never mind. Let's move.
Listen, do you know what? It's an interesting one indeed. We'll keep moving on. Daniel, your next pick for this is the 10th person now, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 10th person to not be included in the top 20. Who would you go for, Daniel?
I don't know if he's been picked already, but Simon Kjaer.
Yeah, I picked him already. Yeah.
Oh, you picked him already. Cool. Could I just have a look at the list and see who's remaining?
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.
So you've got Barella, Benzema, Bonucci, Bruno, Chiellini, Diaz, Haaland, Jorginho, Kante, KDB, Lewandowski, Suarez, Lukaku, Mbappe, Messi, Moreno, Mount, Neymar, Pedri, Ronaldo, Salah.
Cool. I think the last two. I think it's between. I think it's between Pedri and Barella. I think what it is as well, and when we're talking about 2021, a lot of it will come down to like the Euros, obviously, and then obviously that's the start of this season because we're including 2021. Obviously, like that's what's going to be prevalent in a lot of people's minds. I think Pedri obviously played a lot of games. He's probably going to win the Golden Boy Award, but as far as it goes with like the best 20, I think Barella edges it, especially with like high level performances for Inter Milan and also for Italy. Pedri has obviously been great, played so many games. He's been running to the ground. He's going to get his award in the Golden Boy Award, I believe anyway. I'd hope so. I think he should win that. But in terms of the 20, I think he just misses out.
Yeah, everyone agree with Pedri?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the guy who plays for Villarreal, the striker?
Moreno deserves top 20.
No,
he deserves top 20.
He does.
Yeah.
I'd say over Kane. I'd say over Kane, yeah.
He had a better year than Kane.
Yeah, he did.
Sure.
Is there anybody on that list that we feel like deserves to be outside of the top 20 that we squeaked into the top 20 right now, Terry?
Chiellini.
Can I see that? No, you can't do that, Chiellini. Can I see that list and I'll pick?
Lukaku, maybe?
I would say... Wait, who?
Lukaku squeezes in. Yeah,
no, not Lukaku. I would say...
Actually, no. I wouldn't say that.
Go on, Prime.
Sorry, carry on.
I would say... this might be tough, but I would say Neymar. Again,
I get the
everyone,
logic.
everyone raves about Neymar. I don't think he's been this year. I don't think he's been that great, and I don't think how people can justify in saying that he should be top 10, top 5, whatever for Ballon d'Or. I don't think he should be on this list.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting for me is reading the comments, because I've seen a lot of people back a narrative recently that if you're in like a worse team, that shouldn't go against you for like not winning things or delivering or anything like that. And then when you throw in things like, for instance, like Moreno, people are like, no, he shouldn't be included. It's like, but what he achieved for a Villarreal side, by the logic, for instance, used as to why Gerrard's one of the greatest, makes his performances better than a world-class player in the best team in the world, doesn't it not?
This Gerrard thing really get to you, don't it?
No, it doesn't get to me. I'm trying to understand people's logic here. Like, you get my point, right? If you're playing in what Liverpool said was a trash team and you deliver pretty good things, that should be elevated above a brilliant player in a brilliant team winning things. Or does that not count in this scenario?
Moreno didn't just overexceed with Villarreal though. Like, he overexceeded with his numbers, and he actually did with Spain. A lot of people, including myself, said Spain would go out in the round of 16, and look at where they got to, and he was a part of that. So
he was poor in the Euros, to be fair. Like, he wasn't good.
Yeah, but
in terms of his year, no, I agree. And he has the statistical output. I think he scored about 30 goals in that 40 games, something like that.
So yeah, I'm going to take Neymar then as your next pick, Prime, because you were next. And he's not out of the top 20 because we've already picked the 10 that are, but I'm putting him in 11 to 20th position by your pick, because he's going to be there on that. Okay.
So he's 20th, isn't it?
Yeah, like he's 20th. Yeah. So I'll kind of do it in order. So the way it will work is number 20 will be here, number 10 will be here, number 5 will be here, and we'll kind of work out. You guys can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, number 20 here in this way, and vice versa. So my next pick, I'm going to pick the guy. It's hard to say who's 19th. That's actually really hard. I've not thought about it in that kind of detail. But the person that I would pick top 20 wise, I'd go for Chiellini. I think, again, Italy, very good Euros, but actually Juve, for the size they are, the power they have, quite an underwhelming 2021 in totality for them, really. And he's part of that. He's the leader in that. So I'd go for Chiellini in that 11 to 20 position. Igal, who would be your pick to sit inside the top 20?
I'm looking at this list, Terry, and it's starting to get shaky, honestly. It's getting shaky.
Can you put who's remaining back up, please, Terry?
I've got my next guy already.
I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, there's a lot of people who I'm gonna have to now give it to what do you call it? Gerard Moreno. I'm gonna put him there now because I feel like
no,
because I feel like Gerard Moreno. Listen, it's between him or Barella. And
no, it's not, Igal. It's not.
Because I have different criteria to other than you guys. I'm looking at how valuable that player is to all their teams.
Igal, what about Bonucci?
You take them out and you replace them with a lesser version. Does that team still perform to the same level? And that's what I'm saying to myself.
Yeah, but Igal, so by that logic, Gerard Moreno is top then, because if you take him out of that Villarreal team, they don't finish. They don't win the Europa League. They don't like.
I love Mason Mount to bits, but he gets picked next. If I was doing it.
So Gal's put him there. I'm sure someone's going to say Moreno a little later on in the show.
Everyone has their opinions. Let's go.
Of course they do. Gunnar Express, who would be your next guy? Who you take?
Bonucci. Leonardo Bonucci, yeah. Again, same kind of criteria with Chiellini for me. Underwhelming season with Juventus. I think he was a little bit better than Chiellini in the Euros, which is why I push him just that bit ahead. But again, it's so many people are basing Donnarumma and Bonucci and Chiellini off of that Italy win, and you can't just base a whole Ballon d'Or on a Euro win. Like, yes, you have to take it into heavy account, which is why, again, Bonucci's in the top 20 for me, but that Juventus team was appalling this year, like really bad. Again, if you take away Ronaldo's goals, it wouldn't have been too good for them. So for me, yeah, Bonucci and Chiellini are down at the bottom of the top 20.
Yeah, plus I think for Bonucci, the reason I mean, he might have been somebody I left out altogether. I think anyone that lacks a sense of humor doesn't deserve an award like this. Everybody that took its coming, I mean, I'll be honest with you, everybody that took its coming home personally, they need a lobotomy, because it's a joke. Like, to actually think us English, and I include everybody on this stream, barring Prime is English, because Prime's Irish, in footballing terms, to think that we all really meant it. Like, yeah, just after we beat Germany, like, yeah, you start with a bit of gut, but I love how triggered the world gets that it's coming home. It's just, it's a fucking joke.
You know what's funny?
I
love on the flip how triggered English fans are, because Italians are saying it. They're saying it to trigger you guys.
No, they're not. I'm sorry, Prime. They're not. You can tell when someone's bantering. I tell you, banter. When the footage of Paul Pogba at the World Cup came out a little while ago of him holding the World Cup stand, it's coming home, you could see him joking with it. But the way Bonucci was like, we had to come, I'm not going to put the accent on because that's rude, but it's like, we had to come here and beat them because they just believe their whole country stand is coming home, and we thought that was rude. You could tell by he was angry. It's like, brother, it was a joke, G. It was a joke.
What about when Kasper Schmeichel, not, is it Kasper?
Oh, Kasper.
The Leicester guy.
Kasper.
Yeah, but that was also funny.
Yeah, but like Kasper kind of gets it. He's dry like whip, but you could tell Bonucci meant it. That's all I'm saying. Like, we'll leave that one there. And one day it will come home. It will, but there we go. It will one day. I might be dead by then. But anyway, on my dizzy, you're up next, bro. Who you putting in the next slot, my guy?
It has to be KDB. Has to be. I'm not gonna lie. For me personally, he almost fell out of it. No. Here, listen to me. It sounds crazy, I know, but follow me along. I feel like KDB's suffering from, well, not suffering, but he's benefiting from past success in this sense. 2021, he was injured for a large part of this of the back end of the season, and there was Man City was playing better without him. Gundogan was running the midfield without him, and they were scoring goals. KDB came in and they stuttered a little bit. Belgium underachieved. If you're looking at that Belgian team top to bottom, they underachieved. And then the start of this season, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been watching City like that because I'm pissed that they're doing well. But
do you know what's interesting about KDB? Since Rudiger body checked him, he hasn't been the same man. It's like that. it ended him. You had a friend who you've been out with, right? Gives it the big one, and then he gets a bit of a slap on the night out, and then he's quiet again for the rest of his life. Like, you don't say, but you know what I mean? He's on the bus and he stands up when the next group of man walk on. Oh, I didn't want my seat. He just looks like shook. Right. Rudiger ruined him, bruv. But Daniel looks like you disagree. You think he should be higher than 15th?
Yeah, I do. Look, at the end of the day, when you look at a large part of the Ballon d'Or and how things are ranked, it's also down to the quality of the player. And I think KDB has given us performances that should be rewarded with where he should be ranked. Like you said, this is not an official award. There is no it's the 20 most informed players of 2021. It's still the best players, the 20 best players, and there's no strict metric to it. So I think when we're considering, there's players who deserve the benefit of the doubt, and I think KDB has had a good enough year to be included higher than some of the guys that have not been mentioned yet.
How when he was injured for a large part of it, and then he was trash for the.
But don't you remember? Don't you remember the whole system worked around him as a false nine? That's how they got to.
He played 40
that's
games.
How they got to the Champions League final. That's how they won the league.
He played more than enough games.
There was so many games that he was literally carrying that squad. It's another guy.
Which one are we talking about? Man City or Belgium?
Yeah, Man City.
But don't you then again have to look at performances in big games? Like, obviously, yes, they won the Carabao Cup and the league, but in that Champions League final, he did not perform. And in fact, I know he got injured, but even before the injury, he was poor, really poor. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't linking up well. He was getting bodied pretty much the whole time by Rudiger and the other defenders. So you have to. I'm not trying to again downplay what he did this year, but you take into the account the injuries, the bad performance in the Euros. Again, injuries did obviously curse him a little bit there as well.
Yeah, you say that, but I can bring up the big games he performed in. I think I can't even remember.
Real Madrid.
I think Real Madrid. I think there was the Chelsea a game at the Bridge as well, where he scored and got an assist in that game as well. So, like, yeah, we can look at the Champions League because it's the most prevalent example. But he's the same person who came out recently and said biggest mistake of his life was playing in the Euros, injured. He got injected for the Euros. So obviously, I'm not saying this is his fault. I still think he played like good. He was Belgium's best player. If you don't think Lukaku was their best player, so I think he played well enough to be included higher than some of the guys.
If you're putting him higher, how much higher?
Let me ask you a question though. Do you feel like we are judging him harsher because of how great of a season he had last season, statistically and overall? Because I feel like based on your performances the season before, people expect that from you the next season. And the fact that you make a little bit of a drop off from the heights that he was at last season, that's why we're doing this.
No. What even were his numbers like this year though? Because again, it's not a matter of season.
He has
this calendar year.
In 2021 as a calendar year, he has 17 goals and assists.
That's impressive.
Wait, so is that 17 goals and 17 assists, or is that just
17 goals and assists combined?
That's not.
That's not
between the back end of the year, the Euros, and the start of this year. Come on, G.
Yeah. Don't say that. It doesn't always have to be like that, because KDB is also a player who you can appreciate his impact without his goals and assists. Bro, he's not an output merchant. It's just that when he is statistically producing, it elevates him to a level where there were people honestly saying he was on the same platform as Ronaldo and Messi. Like,
so wait, hold on. So when I say based on what, sorry, so I'm gonna let you go. My bad. So when I say he hasn't been performing, you say, but look at the stats. Say the stats now. You're like, it's not about. I need to understand. I need understanding.
Look at his performances, his impact in certain games. For example, he was pivotal. In fact, the number one player in the PSG win. He was the reason why they got into the final of the Champions League. And let's not cap about that. You can't disagree with that. So for me, KDB, when we're talking about KDB as someone where we're talking about impact, stats aren't everything. And I wasn't even the one who brought up the stats. I said there are certain players where statistical output will matter. And in the case of KDB, his statistical output is what puts him in the top 5, puts him in the top 3 potentially. But for this season, I think he's above certain guys that haven't been mentioned.
Where would you put him, Daniel?
That's what I asked.
Yeah, where would your placement be for him, Dan?
I think personally, obviously, it's hard to make it precise because we're doing it as we go along. But I'd put him above Mason Mount, for example. I think he has had. I agree with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
But I'd still put KDB above him.
I hear you on that, and that's why doing it this way, where everyone gets a pick, makes it a little bit harder. But we're up with you next, Daniel. We're looking for the person in 14th place. Who would you pick?
Sorry, I have to see the thing again. Please. Cheers. I would go with Mason Mount. Mason Mount. Bro, the guy's quality. Like, I totally love this guy. I think he's very, very pivotal. I think the Chelsea fan base see more and more why he's so important, especially in that 2-game period where we lost back-to-back games. Mason Mount didn't play both games. He comes in the next game and he's quality. And then everyone starts to love on him again. I think you always need to, sometimes Chelsea fans just need to be reminded about the guy, that he's only 22. I think he did need that rest because he was playing bad. But it's the fact that he's a guy who, during his bad spell, it was understandable. Like, at the end of the day, bro, this guy's played so many games for us. After Azpilicueta, I think Mason Mount is our most used player. So, like, what we need to understand with this guy, he's young, he's still going to learn. He's gonna improve more and more, and for him to be 14th on our list and to even make the top 30 for me is an achievement in itself. It means he's being recognized as one of the best players, and that's all he can be happy with. Like, Mount is a quality player, man. But in terms of this, he shouldn't really be 14th best player in the world. If I'm being real with myself,
I think what's interesting with Mount, again, I'm trying to take into account here a lot of things people say. So statistical outputs in 2021, 13. So he's 4 behind KDB. What he does have though in sort of, he has that assist in the Champions League final. And we always, you're someone, Daniel, of course, who is raved about Drogba for the right reasons. Clutch. Like, sometimes I think certain goals and certain assists are definitely worth more because they're at the most pivotal time. So I'm not saying that assist counts as 4. You give there isn't really a metric for it, but I think he's being in the top 30 players is fair. I mean, maybe you look at it. Maybe he could have been if one of you picked him as being out of the top 20. I wouldn't have complained either. I think it's kind of fair. Like but as you say, he's 22 years of age. For me, Kenny here says very disrespectful on Neymar. Neymar is miles ahead of 20 people on that list. I'm a United fan, and Neymar destroyed us. Mount above Neymar, I'm dead, is what Kenny says. Kenny, obviously, you can get that move in later. I can move him up in position or a tier for you, but I will save that till we're done. One thing I will say, though, is this isn't who the better player is. This is who's had a better 2021. I think it's very, very key to remember that, because you can be the best player in the world, but not the best player in the world in 2021. I think that's doable.
And Prime didn't win the French league.
Sorry, bro. Prime, with you next. We've got to try and get through these. Prime, number 13.
Mbappe. Again, didn't win the French league. Was supposed to go to the Euros and kill it with France. Didn't do that. I don't think he's been great this calendar year.
He just so you know, he has 34 goals, 13 assists.
I know.
This season.
I know what he has. No.
Bro, this is the biggest hauler out of all of them.
Whatever. No.
Okay, let me just explain to me how he's better than Haaland. Explain to me how he's better than Cristiano Ronaldo. Explain to me how he's better than friggin' Nicolas Barella. Explain to me how he's worse than all those guys.
I didn't say he's what you're talking about in terms of the player. Like Terry said, it's not about the player. It's about what's happening this calendar year. And again, since I can only go off the position or whatever he's given me, I think Mbappe should be in that. What is it, from 20 to 30 or from 10 to 20 that we gave us? I think Mbappe should be in that bracket. Yes. Wow. Yeah. I don't think he's been. I forget all the numbers because you're playing in the French league, and I always give it that asterisk. What you've actually done when you lead the two.
You know what's interesting about, again, I'm not backing Prime's decision. I'm backing some of the logic here. I've heard people discount Jadon Sancho's assist because of Bundesliga tax. If there's Bundesliga tax, there's a heavier tax on Ligue 1. It's not as good a league. I know Daniel agrees with that because that's his thing. Equally, every Chelsea fan and his dog has argued for J5 to be the guy who wins it, or Kante, based on winning trophies. So if you're looked at as one of the best players in the world, in one of the best teams in the world, and you don't win your league, which is a one-horse race, you don't win the Champions League and get knocked out by a team that then bottled it in a final, and the best nation in the world flops in the tournament, in a tournament you're predicted to win, based on those two bits of logic, it can't be in the top 5. Like exactly. Unless we're going to discount the winning trophies element, and we're going to discount unless we get rid forever.
But then why is Cristiano even on the list then?
I'm not talking about. I haven't placed Ronaldo. I'm asking a question. If winning trophies is massively important, and Bundesliga tax and Serie A, where would you rank him? Like, why do you disagree with Prime?
No,
I think.
Disagree. Oh yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
No, I was just basically saying that, like, you're not given the full picture of the story, because of course, yes, we understand, as much as we recognize that Ligue 1 has a lesser, significance in terms of putting change in the pocket of someone in terms of how highly we rank them. Like, there's other players there that we can put holes in their performances in 2021. So, for example, Ballon didn't win his league. He won the FA Cup equivalent of his league, but in terms of everything else that he did, I wouldn't say that he necessarily had a better 2021. So it's a bit here or there when you're looking at the argument. Like, I just think it's a bit weak to say that Mbappe is 14th. Like,
yeah, but I can only pick one player. If Terry told me to do out the list for the 30, then I will.
Did Mbappe have a better year than? Did Ronaldo have a better year than Mbappe to you?
I think they probably not. They're probably both on the same level, but I can only pick one, and I'm picking Mbappe because, again, he plays in the French team. Everyone kept telling me France are the clear favourites. When I said, no, France is not that great of a team anymore, they're declining. Everyone was all against me. When at PSG, people were saying they were favourites to win the Champions League by the semi-finals. They didn't even get to the final. They bottled it when they went 1-0 up. Mbappe's maybe the star boy of that team. Even now, PSG haven't started off that brightly this season. So why can't I put Mbappe there? Because I took Neymar out of the top 30. So why can't I do that to Mbappe?
I'm not saying you can't. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying you're wrong.
Well, no, I'm not wrong. If he had performed in the Euros, which he didn't, he dropped a stinker, then maybe we can have a good conversation.
He performed in the Champions League, and it's no coincidence.
But not when needed. Not when he's needed.
That's not true because, bro, he got injured. He was injured in the first game of the first leg against Man City, and then he didn't play in the second leg. And he played well in the Champions League till he got injured, bro. So he had a good Champions League, a very good Champions League, actually.
Well, again, it's not my problem. And you also lost your league.
It's not my problem. It's not my problem because I don't have to pick you. The reason why it's your problem. The reason why it's your problem is because you're giving an argument as to why you're saying Mbappe is where he is, and I'm telling you, you're wrong. So it is your problem.
But I'm not wrong because I don't agree. I don't agree with what you've countered me. I don't agree with what you've countered me with. So I'm not wrong.
You might not need to agree with what I've countered you, but now let me give you the facts. Then, if you don't want to agree with it,
my God!
The facts are the Champions League performances were good from Mbappe. The facts are he's got the statistical output, regardless of whether you think the French league, yeah, cool. If you want to tax the French league, he's still got the statistical output to back him. Yes, fair enough, he didn't have a great Euros, and of course, that's why he won't be as high as he should be as relative to his talent. But when we look at other guys that you're giving the same argument about in terms of whether or not they performed and the leagues that they play in, there's guys there that are below Mbappe. And that's
Which other guys did I say?
Ruben Diaz should be lower than Mbappe.
Diaz?
Yeah, but again,
wow. But then Ruben Diaz won the. Cool, but then we haven't got to Ruben Diaz yet. But then Ruben Diaz was brilliant all year in winning a Premier League and a League Cup. Yeah, Portugal didn't do so well, but I'm going to use Liverpool fan logic here. That manager and that team was really average as a unit, but. Look, it's an interesting one. That's where Mbappe's been placed. Viewers, what do you think? Remember, you can super chat and change this list. Get your super chats in now to change the call to this. It's my pick next, and I've got to pick the person who's in 13th. And when I start looking at this list, I see Barella, I see Benzema, I see Diaz, Haaland, Jorginho, Kante, Lewandowski, Suarez, Lukaku, Messi, Ronaldo, Salah. And it's between two people for me. Between two people.
You want to cheat?
Mohamed Salah and Bruno Fernandes.
What's your criteria for the Ballon d'Or? Like, what's your thinking behind it?
My criteria for the Ballon d'Or is the same as my criteria for every single player debate, whether we single it down to a year or whether the only thing I take out is longevity, because you can't have longevity in a year. Like, it's a madness. So stats are one thing, outputs and when you deliver. Big game performances, as an example, so clutch moments, etc. And then winning the trophies. And I said it last night, trophies are the, for me, biggest commodity when it comes to voting for the winner, because every now and then you'll get a player at a much lesser club like a Villarreal and someone ups themselves for a year, do very, very well. The difference is when you play for a Man United, when you play for a Bayern Munich, when you play for a Liverpool, a City, whoever, Chelsea, Barca, the expectation is that losing one game is turmoil. The pressure that comes with that and for you to deliver is ridiculously high. So for me, the only reason, I'm going to get called bias here, but I can only pick one person. I'm picking Mo Salah next. Only because over Bruno by one decision. Bruno Fernandes as a midfielder in 2021 has 26 goal contributions. No midfielder in world football has contributed more goals than him. That for me is an elevator based on the things I gave you. Mo Salah has the stats, okay, but when it comes to the big games at the back end of last season for Liverpool, as in sort of knockout tournaments, cup competitions, they were already out of top four. No one at Liverpool was delivering. The same as it doesn't. So him and Bruno share that. Neither of them have that. At the most pivotal moments last year, the team crumbled essentially, and they're part of that team. Mo Salah scored a lot of goals, so did Bruno, but Bruno was the highest goal scorer midfield player last season, by the way, in the history of English football. That's the only thing that elevates him in the calendar year above Mo Salah for me. So Mo Salah is going to be my next pick. By the way, like everyone knows how much I love, but the problem is everybody else left on this list has won something. So for me, no, but I'm talking about Bruno and Mo Salah. I can only pick one. And the only reason Bruno goes above him is because Bruno broke a record in 2021 of being the highest goal scorer midfielder ever. you know, that as a statistical output deserves an element of celebration. But for me, like, Bruno can't even be in the top 10. He hasn't won a trophy. You know,
by the way, Benzema never won anything.
By the way, we've discounted some players who have won trophies, but that's because it was a summer tournament, and outside of that, they haven't done too much. If by the way, Portugal had won the Euros and Bruno had scored all he did, and we'd won the Europa League final, and he'd have, you know, scored a goal in that or whatever it is, or assisted a goal, then I'll be saying, like, there's an argument for top 10, top 5, but he didn't deliver those trophies. And I'm always going to remain true to myself. Winning trophies is the difference, because, you know, I look at the Mbappe argument. I agree with it to a certain degree, because in the semi-final, in the second leg of the quarterfinal, in the semi-finals, I know he had a bit of an injury for the second leg, but Mbappe didn't turn up, and it's like that's when you completely needed it. No one in PSG turned up, and that's when you need your players, and that's why I regard the likes of Didier Drogba in the history of the game so highly, because at times when Chelsea needed him, he stood up. And I can't rate that in Drogba as being something that stands him above lots of people that have scored more than him and better 90 per minute ratios, and then not use that same logic when I'm picking my Ballon d'Or winner. I can't hypocrisy. So I'm going to pick two to make this easy. I'm picking Mo Salah and Bruno Fernandes next to each other.
Benzema never won anything, but to be fair to Benzema, he single-handedly carried that Real Madrid team, and he's probably the most impactful player on this list who has not won anything.
So Salah didn't carry Liverpool?
No, but not to the extent that Benzema. Benzema was doing everything. He was their main creator and their main goal scorer. For France, he was dominating.
Wait, when Liverpool were injured, when the whole team was injured, and they were telling us Salah was the one keeping.
If you want to put Salah higher than Benzema, make your case. But in my opinion, when you look at Benzema's season, this guy, 33 goals. What is it? 14 assists or 13 assists. He killed it for France. Killed it for Real Madrid.
No. Don't twist history. He didn't kill it for France. Don't twist history. Because we're not going to remember. We're not going to remember in the group stages. He wasn't that great. Let's not twist history.
Okay, listen. At the end of the day, if you end the tournament and you look back, you're going to say people who had good performances throughout the tournament. It was Benzema. Benzema did have.
I'm not going to remember Benzema.
He might not have. You know what though? He might not have dominated as much as you guys want. But he did have a good tournament.
As much as you guys want, as much as he
logic, but my logic remains the same though. When I'm looking at all the other players that are left in this list, you know, I don't really. By the way, I'm not really too fussed about the order. Benzema can go before Mo Salah. Mo Salah can come after Benzema. Ronaldo did he win anything last year? Ronaldo? I don't think he did.
Yeah, he won the Coppa Italia.
Okay, so he won one trophy, so he goes above them. So I don't really care which one goes around it. I'm just looking at everybody else left on that list. They've had very good years statistically. Some have won multiple trophies. Some have broken records. Some have won international and domestic trophies and been pivotal in their team winning. As great as Benzema, Mo Salah, Bruno's outputs all were as players, the others did very similar things, like in ballparks, but won trophies. I don't think we can discount the winning of I won't discount winning trophies. If you guys think we should, then maybe we should. But I'm quite happy. I mean, would we put then Benzema outside the top 20? Or sorry, in the top 20, but not in the top 10? Like 11? Or do anyone think he should be in it?
Me personally, I understand how good Barella is, but I'm taking all three of those guys above. Oh, no, sorry. Apart from Bruno, I'm taking two of those guys. Actually, no, I'm taking Bruno as well. All three of those guys above Barella.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't.
People are calling me biased, but I put Bruno in that category. People like everyone knows I love Bruno and I love Salah. I'm just sticking true to my thought process. But so who's going to be number 11? Who's going to be number 11? Igal, it's your pick, to be honest, bro.
Okay, can I see the list quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I assume you're going to be picking Barella.
But the thing is, I also have a case for Ruben Diaz to be in that similar spot.
What?
Why, Gal?
What? Because I just don't think. I just don't value defenders on the Ballon d'Or list. When it comes to Ballon d'Or, I value attackers' outputs more than I value defenders, and that's just the history of how the Ballon d'Or has been given.
Forget the history. This is the football terrace. What do you think? What do you think, bro? Forget the history. Do you think that a defender whose team have one of the best defensive records in the history of the Premier League and wins the Premier League, that shouldn't be recognised?
No, that's not my pick. That's not my pick. I was just saying honorable mention. I would look at him, but my pick is Nicolas Barella.
So Gooner Express, who comes in 10th position for you, my friend? Who's in 10th position?
I mean, I'm probably gonna have to go for. This is a difficult one, you know. It's between Diaz, Haaland, and Benzema, and the only reason it's between those three is Haaland obviously has the most goals in the Champions League, which is at his age a very impressive feat. He has a lot of goals as well in the Bundesliga, but he did score less than Silva, and he also scored less than Lewandowski. Obviously, the trophy is there, but I think for me, it's going to have to be Benzema on the simple on the recency bias and the trophies. He won nothing, which again, you can score 100 goals in a season, but if you don't win a trophy, is it really that impressive? Like, obviously, it's impressive, but does it help your team? No. And as well, I think a lot of it with Benzema's recency bias. Obviously, he's been probably the best player as of recently, like since the start of the season, but was he better than like Erling Haaland last year? Like as in at the beginning of 2021, January time? I don't think he was. I don't think people were talking about Madrid that much because they weren't too impressive. So I'm probably going to go Benzema. I think he just it's very close between Erling Haaland and Benzema, but I'm going to go for Benzema at 10.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. Oh my Dizzy, you're up next, bro. It's getting nice and juicy now. Getting nice and juicy.
The clear option here. Well, I don't know how clear it is. Would be Ronaldo, but you will never hear me say that because I'm a United fan. So who I'm gonna go with? I don't think. In my opinion, I don't think Jorginho and Kante both in the top 10. I don't think that makes sense.
What?
Whoa!
Wait, who'd you say?
I said either Kante or Jorginho gotta go. One of them does.
Oh my god!
So who are you putting in number 9 position? Number 9. This is number 9.
Wait, hold on. Show me the list. Wait, hold on. Before I say what I'm gonna say, show me the list.
Come on, man.
Diaz, Haaland, Jorginho, Kante, Lewandowski, Suarez.
Luis Suarez. You're gonna
Lukaku. Nah, not Suarez. No. Lukaku, Messi, or actually no. I'm gonna go with Lukaku.
How?
Oh Jesus!
Just because
that makes more sense than Jorginho.
No, it doesn't.
They won. Obviously, they won the Scudetto and that, but and he was.
You're saying it as if it was a light thing. They broke the 9-year record of Juventus.
No, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. To be fair, it was a big
deal.
Clearly
wasn't.
And then
yeah. And then Serie A taxo and all that, bruv, innit?
And then what's it called? And then he did
the same league Ronaldo was in. But hey,
but then same things. But then same thing goes for what's it called? The Belgium team. The team underachieved, and who that falls on, it has to fall on the players. So and then this year he came in scaling, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't scored in 5 games or something like that.
Okay. That's in all comps.
Potato.
Do you know Lukaku is top goal scorer and top assister in Serie A?
No, I didn't know that, but I don't care. Okay. You said facts don't matter to you, fam. So what does it matter to me?
I never said facts don't matter, but it's
I don't think
you can put none of my business, right? That was the one. My bad.
I don't think you can put Lukaku behind Erling Haaland. Like Haaland was third in the and everybody and I hate the Bundesliga tax thing. It really rattles me. I can't even lie, but he came third. Andre Silva scored more goals in a worse Frankfurt team. So
only striker that had a better year.
You guys know that Prime said is incorrect. In 2021, Barella actually has more assists than Lukaku in that season.
What? No, did you say 2021 or the whole season?
2021.
Okay,
even if we're still talking about 2021, that's when he won his Player of the Year. That's when he won Player of the Year with the goal in the league. I mean, your supposed goat, you're wearing his colors right now, but he made you look very, very shameful in that season. So you have to really think about what you're doing. You're just maybe Do you know what? If you're doing it for the banter, do you know what? I hear it. Fair enough.
Nah, no, what you know, you heard what I said at the start, right? I said the clear choice is Ronaldo, but you would never hear me say that as a United fan.
Even if you didn't want to pick Ronaldo, the next two players you went to were Jorginho and Kante, two players who were instrumental in the Champions League win, and two players who won the best player of the year in Europe. So they've got the European award. Kante's got midfielder and Jorginho's got player of the year. That's for two. Ahead of guys where there's Haaland there, there's Suarez there. There's no logic for explaining some of those other.
There's mad logic. There's mad logic.
Suarez
got. So do you know Suarez got sold to Atletico and then dragged them above Barcelona and won the league?
What the hell does that have to do with the Ballon d'Or?
And then he got. How many goals did he get? He bagged. I think he got over 30 goals.
Yeah,
over
21 goals in the league.
Yeah,
Lukaku
and then
also scored in that same region and also won his league like Suarez did. But what makes it different is Lukaku was obviously playing the year where it was tougher to do so because Lukaku Suarez didn't have the GOAT playing in it. And to be fair, Messi won player of the season in La Liga, and Suarez wasn't near that. Then on top of that, Lukaku obviously in a league where it was tough for him to win player of the year, where obviously there's different obstacles. People were saying that he wasn't good enough. He obviously left United in such a bad way where they were saying he wasn't even a world-class striker, and then he goes on and proves that. So if you want to talk about narrative, Lukaku's narrative smokes Suarez's narrative out of the water.
So you're picking Suarez next, Daniel.
I'm still going Lukaku. That's fair. Everything you said is fair. I'm still going Lukaku, though. Appreciate it, though.
Yeah, fair enough. It's lacking in all sorts of bases, but yeah, that's fine.
There we go. He's been placed in. Daniel, it's up to you next, bruv. Who are you picking to go into 7th position?
It's Haaland. No explanation. The other guys are just better.
You just made a case for Luis Suarez, but now you're going Haaland.
Haaland was another person that could have gone below Lukaku. I said every striker apart from Lukaku had a better year than every striker apart from Lewandowski. I just didn't mention Haaland because we weren't using Haaland. I just used Suarez as cross-reference. But Suarez and Haaland go below Lukaku if I was making my list.
Guys, I'm sorry. When you look at the statistics, though, Haaland does deserve to go over Luis Suarez. If you're going to go based on
he doesn't.
impact, if you're going to go based on impact, I get it.
No, but you can't just look at statistics though, because again, like Haaland didn't even finish top 3 in. So he finished 3rd in the Bundesliga scoring records. Again, Andre Silva in a much worse Frankfurt team scored more goals.
2021. It's not just the end of the season.
And that's fair. But as well, you have to look. Suarez won his league title. Haaland didn't. And I know saying, oh well, Dortmund and everything, it doesn't matter. Like it's irrelevant. Suarez won a league title, which, let's be honest, no one expected Atletico to win it. And then Haaland literally just won the FA Cup of the German league. So, you know, you look at statistics, they're very close anyway in terms of numbers. I'd argue that, yes, Haaland had a better Champions League campaign. He was probably the best player in the Champions League, at least by goals. But Suarez won his league title. And that's so much. Like, for Atletico Madrid, that's a lot. Like,
that's a big deal.
Totally hear that. Haaland's been put there. Next, Prime, it's your pick, mate. Who's going to go into 6th position?
Who should be in 6th?
Sorry, 7th. This is 7th. Sorry, 7th. This is 7th. Sorry, 7th.
Oh, 7th. Messi.
oh my God. Oh my God.
Get him off the show. Get him off the show. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
I get Neymar. I get this.
Messi.
Mbappe. But Messi, what's wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you?
I'm ludicrous. Okay.
I rate it. Prime, I rate it so much.
Why? Explain.
Because he's doing what, like, bro, my man just did the Ronaldo thing, bro. Oh my God.
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Thank you. It's Messi. Like, again, it's the big. No, because again, I haven't done the full 30 list. But okay, it's Messi. Because again, the big thing about why people want to put Messi in the top 5 or even give him the Ballon d'Or is just based on the fact of he won the Copa America.
Why is it Messi though? But why is it Messi?
Because I don't think he's better than the rest of the people on the list.
In 2021,
you just said Ronaldo didn't have a better year than Messi.
But I can't do every single one and lay it out. I'm just talking about what's on there. I just go by what's on there, and I'm picking Messi. If I could do the next player, then I'm picking Ronaldo. But I can't, can I?
these logics are really throwing me because you just said that Ronaldo didn't have a better year than Messi, but because you didn't
They
do the
both
full
have.
30 minutes, hold on.
Okay.
So just because you didn't do the full 30 minutes, it now means that you have to put Messi above Ronaldo, or you have to put Messi to go next because you didn't do the list, bro. I didn't.
No, that's not exactly.
Just because I didn't do the list, and I said that his reasoning for having Lukaku that low was not correct or was not factual. That doesn't mean I then throw a tantrum and then put flipping Barella.
How am I throwing a tantrum? I'm putting Messi in the top 10.
But one thing I don't understand, Prime.
Yeah.
Daniel is bang on. If I sit there and say Ronaldo has had a worse season than Messi, and then I get the next pick, hang on. What did you say?
What did you say then?
I didn't say worse.
Who's had the worst year? Ronaldo or Messi?
I don't think.
Or who's had the better year?
I think they've both been on the same. I don't think they've both been exceptional.
You don't because hang on. But that's fine. Listen, Prime. Forget the hate for a minute. You can think Ronaldo. You can't think they've had the same if you pick Messi first to go in 7th. Like you think Ronaldo's been better. Like I'm just saying. Like viewers, what do you think? Comment here says, "Wow, this is hilariously bad." Absolutely. Listen, this is what happens. This is why I like doing the show this way because everyone's picking in their order as best they can. It makes it fun. Messi in 7th. I mean, he's had a bad start to the 6th worst league in the year, but 7th is still mad.
I don't think he's had a great year.
It's my go next. So go on, Gal.
In perspective, he said Messi didn't win much, bro. You do realize he won the Copa del Rey. He won the Copa America. I think he was the leading goal scorer in La Liga. Am I mistaken? This is a guy who statistically he has it. He won trophies. His impact in his team is shown today based off when he left Barcelona, where they are. I don't get how you put him in this position
because were you then not listening to me? Because I didn't say he hasn't won much. I said the big thing about Messi.
Said he only won one.
No. Egal, shush. I said the big thing is based on the Copa America, and I don't think he should be in the top 5 or even win the Ballon d'Or just based on that. Because again, the whole narrative thing, if we're doing narrative, is Messi's won finally his first international trophy, and he won the Ballon d'Or with that. I'm not for that. I don't think he should be in the top 5 just based on that.
Listen, I say fair. I don't agree. I'm saying fair enough to your point there. It's my pick next, and I've got to pick the person who's in 6th place, essentially. Suarez, Diaz, Jorginho, Kante, 11th. I'm going to have to go with Lewandowski. Have to.
No, you do.
No. No, I do. I'm basing it off of Daniel's logic because he plays in the worst league of the guys. Bundesliga tax. Bundesliga tax.
No, I did not say that.
You did. You said we can't count any of Jadon Sancho's assists because they're in the Bundesliga. So what I'm doing is I recognize everything Lewandowski done in the Champions League, right? But everything he done in the Bundesliga, I've wiped clear. Right, but what I want to say is this: I'm completely joking.
I'm
joking. It's just mad. Listen, Lewandowski. Like I know where I'd place Lewandowski if I was doing all of this. My next pick, when I look at this list, Luis Suarez. I know how great he is. I know all of that. I'm being really biased. I don't like the geezer. I don't like the geezer. So I don't want him in top 5. I don't like him. I think he shouldn't be allowed to play football. If I'm being perfectly honest, it annoys me every time I see him play. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones there. But that's it. Luis Suarez, number 6 on the list. By the way, everyone who's still in the car, I can't believe this show. We're having a bit of a laugh. I'd never put Lewandowski that low. I don't believe in Bundesliga tax or anything like that. One of the best leagues in the world. And if you get
Terry, you're a good guy, man. Like,
mate, I'm not a good guy.
Someone,
I just know ball. I know ball, bruv. I know ball. Like,
finally, someone.
I'm only winding Danny up. Danny, by the way, I always like me and Danny. I know him a while now. Dan's one of the best football analytical minds on socials, by the way. Big yourself up, man. You and that curtain are one of my favorite things in the whole world, bruv. Legit, my G. Right, Egal, you're next. You get your final pick. Who is in the 5th position.
Okay. Can I see the list quickly? Just so I can see who's there. I have to go with Ruben Diaz. I have to go with Ruben Diaz in that position. I just don't think.
By the way, Ruben Diaz has got into the top 5 here. We've not even noticed him.
I don't think he should be in the top 5.
No,
in my opinion, when the actual rank comes out, I think he's going to be closer to 10 and 11 than he would be actually.
He won't. I don't even think Ruben Diaz will make top 25 in
maybe
real terms, because by the way, on a real level, Gal, when it comes to the actual voting,
popularity
you'll all see my point. Popularity is going to take over, and no, outside of City fans, no one cares about. No one in Portugal cares about him. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a next guy, so he won't get that higher. But he's 5th on our list tonight.
You know why, Terry?
No, I know why he's come 5th in our list, because we've all been focusing on what great player can I put down lower? We've just missed him. He's just, like this. My dad taught me this when I was a kid. Like if you're a young kid, not that any young kids should be watching this, but my dad always said, if you want to stay up, when you've all had this, when your parents have friends around and you want to stay up, right? My dad always said, if you sit there and shut up and be quiet, people won't notice you and you can stay up later. If you're noisy and you get put to bed. That's what Diaz has done. He sat in the corner like a good boy. He stayed quiet, right? No one's seen him. And that man's 5th. Go on, son.
That's hilarious.
Gunnar Express, your next pick, mate. You've got Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Kante, Jorginho remaining, my friend.
Yeah, it's got to be CR7. It should be a lot lower, but again, I don't.
Nah.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't even know he's been kicked out yet. He doesn't even know. I'm only joking.
No, but bro, look, I love Ronaldo. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the Messi Ronaldo debate because it's long, but I love Ronaldo. But he's higher than he should be. That's a starter. But as well, again, he won a trophy, but it's the FA Cup of the Italian League, and unfortunately, not many people.
Historic, man.
Huge, huge. But look, Juventus didn't win the league. I'm not blaming him. For me, he's probably the only shining light. Him and Chiesa in that team. Obviously, scored I think about 30 odd goals. I don't know how many, particularly in 2021. But he's had a strong start at the start of the season for Man United. Debatably didn't deserve the player of the month, but he won it. And like we say,
it's a popularity contest.
At the end of the day,
no, you lot can't say that. Whenever I say that on this stream, you all sit there in silence. None of that nonsense.
And the thing is, right? And Terry said it earlier. In 10 years' time, when you go back to look at it, no one's going to look at why he won it or how. They're just going to say he won it. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, does it? But he is lucky to be where he is in fourth, fifth. But yeah, it's him. The other 3 are just miles ahead of
what I would say about Ronaldo. Is I wouldn't. Trophies are a massive thing, but a lot of people have said in other streams and other things, and even today, like stats and that, like top goal scorer in La Liga still, though, as an example. Broke the international goal scoring record. In 2021 alone, he has 37 goal contributions. He's had more goal contributions than his age in 2021. As an individual player, he's still been very, very good indeed. But he hasn't got the trophies for me. He's got everything you need. A lot of big game performances. The stats are massive still for a player of his age. Forget a player of his age. His stats are massive at any age. He just doesn't have the big trophies to elevate him. I probably wouldn't have had him as high as a top 5 based on that. He's kind of a bit like Diaz, kind of crept in, but I ain't going to complain. Mohammed here says, move Mo Salah to winner, best player on form. Bro, you can't move him up 2 categories. You know the rules, Mo. You've been around a long time, but I will move Mo Salah up 1 category when we finish for you. I've marked that down. Thank you for that super chat. But that's where Ronaldo is for now. Next on the list was Omar Dizzy. You get your final pick, Kante, Jorginho, or Lewandowski, my bro.
I'm just glad I didn't have to say Ronaldo. Appreciate you for that. Let's have a look at the who's left. Kante, Jorginho, or Lewandowski. Oh, I think I'm gonna go with Kante.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna go with Kante. I love Kante. He's a beautiful little man. I love him, but I think to say they won the Champions League, which is fair, and obviously Kante is important in that midfield, 100%. But I think having both Jorginho and Kante in the top 2 is outlandish, in my opinion. And Jorginho gets in ahead because he won the Champions League and he won the European Cup. So for those 2 reasons alone, I think Kante. And then if it was in my order, then I would go Louis. Then Jorginho wins it.
Oh God.
Interesting take. I want to go to Danny next. So we're getting down to the last two, and then we're going to do some. And then super chat start. And I think the super chatters are ready. Super chatters are ready to go tonight on the terrace. Remember, it's a great way of supporting the channel as well. Daniel, who are you picking to go into the second position, Lewandowski or Jorginho?
It's easy. I've seen the narrative of the night. Just for all you super chatters, regardless of what happens, the list that we create, us panelists, is the final list. So whatever you lot do, it's fine. We don't really care about it, if we're being honest. But obviously,
I do. No, we do. We care, bro. We love you. We love you.
I think the final list, the list that we have, is final. And the person who's going in second place is the one and only, the main man, the Polish legend, Robert Lewandowski.
That's what I'll do.
Harry, I beat you. Have a good day.
You can't win the Champions League and the European Cup and not get Ballon d'Or.
Yes, you can.
Do you know what's interesting for me?
Yes, you can.
I agree with this completely and utterly, and I'm a Man United fan because there's a bias in this for me. I watched one of the greatest midfield players in the history of my country, one of the greatest midfield players in the history of European football, get no credit for over 10 years. And his name was Michael Carrick. None. Not in this country. If Michael Carrick was a 23, 24-year-old joining a top Premier League team now, winning 5-6 Premier Leagues, winning a Champions League, getting to 3 Champions League finals, winning every single trophy available to him and everything else, but dominating and running it the way he does. We didn't respect that type of player in Michael Carrick's era. And I always tell this story, and I'll stand by it for anyone who hasn't heard. I went to watch Man United play Inter Milan in the Champions League, and I remember going on my phone and checking the English papers and what everyone was saying, and it was Ronaldo, Rooney, Giggs, the usual suspects, the Italians, magnificent Michael, magnificent Carrick. They appreciated what he brought to the team, and it was like a wake-up call. And the second wake-up call, I watched England versus Italy in a lovely little boozer in the East End. The game before it was Colombia versus somebody. And there was a group of Colombians in. So, of course, me and the boys went straight to that table. It was a great table, great night. And, we're chatting to these two dudes, Colombian lads, and they just moved to the UK from Barcelona. And one of them said to us, isn't it a shame that Michael Carrick is Welsh and can't play for England, right? And I died with laughter. And they're like, no, he's English. And the look on their face, then why wasn't your team built around him? So I'm not going to take it away from Jorginho for too long. Based on that, I'm voting for Jorginho every day of the week because the gravy on your roast dinner is the most important part. It's not the most popular part. It isn't the hardest bit to make. Well, it is hard to make good gravy, by the way. You need that. You need the animal juice. You need all them things, right? But, right, it's the most important bit. You could have the best chicken or beef, the best taters, the best veg, the best stuffing, the best sausages. Everyone has different things on their roast dinners. You know what I mean? Depending on your culture. But if you have no gravy, no sauce, how shit is that dinner?
Your tangents are weird, fam. Your tangents are weird.
But it's right, though.
No, it's a fact. It's a
fact. Jorginho is the gravy on your Christmas dinner. Without it, day ruined. Pack the toys up, kids, and fuck off the bed. Christmas is over. Jorginho deserves it 110%.
You know what it is for me? For me, it's a case of if Modric can win it 2-3 years ago, I think it was. I don't remember which year it was exactly. I don't see a reason why Jorginho can't, to be honest.
We've made a new name up here. Beautiful game, by the way. This is Jorginho's name now on the football terrace. Wavy Gravy. That's what we're going to call him, bruv. I like that, bruv. Wavy Gravy is what he's going to be called. And this is the maddest thing, right? If enough people raved about players that do his job, it would become popular. I remember when Scott Parker kept Carrick out of the England team. And, you sometimes sit there and be like, Fergie picks him every week and he wins the title and England don't. Oh, he can't be that good. Yeah, Fergie was wrong, was he? Mad. No, he's crazy. Gunner Express, you don't like him. Why? By the way, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you have 15 minutes left to get your super chats in to change this table. So start getting them done now, please, people. 15 minutes left or forever hold your peace. Go on, Gunner Express. Why is Jorginho not the best player?
It's Lewandowski. I mean, funnily enough, I actually don't like gravy on a roast dinner. So for me, the analogy fits perfectly. I can't even lie. But yeah, it's Lewandowski for me. I mean, we talked about like our own we talked about our own criterias and this and that. Lewandowski has the most trophies of any player nominated for a starter. It doesn't matter what you think of the trophies and how important they are. At the end of the day, it's a league title, the Club World Cup, and a Super Cup, and he's won 3 of them. So he's won more than Messi. He's won 3. He's won 3. Yeah,
2021. He hasn't got a Club World Cup.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He won the Club World Cup in 2021.
Yeah, it was. Oh, flip sake.
Yeah. So exactly. I've done my research on Lewandowski. You know, like it happens, isn't it? 3 trophies, most of anyone. He scored the most goals, got the most GA. He's Golden Boot winner, European Golden Boot winner. He's just the best player. Like he is. I mean, you want to take and Daniel, you talked about Mbappe's injuries in the Champions League as a means of not slandering his Champions League campaign. I'll do the same thing for Lewandowski. He was injured in the quarterfinals. If he, I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. If he plays that game, they win because it was quarterfinals, I think, against PSG, and then they went on to City. They win that game. If you watch that game again, Sane and Choupo-Moting missed so many easy chances, and Lewandowski buries every single one of them. They win that game. They go on to Man City, and the rest is history. Whether they win that or not is irrelevant. But for me, he's just like the best player. He's got, again, most goals, most assists, most trophies, European Golden Boot winner. I'm not even taking into account the fact that he got robbed of it last year because that's irrelevant, but I'm just putting that out there. He did. And when you look at, because let's be honest, the main comparison is him and Messi right now. I think Jorginho, he needs to be rated higher, not in terms of Ballon d'Or ranking. I think he should finish 3rd. But I do understand the narrative of he needs to be rated higher. Like, it's same thing for me with Santi Cazorla. Santi Cazorla should be rated higher than he is, but he won't be because people don't really care for that kind of area in the field and that job. So I agree with that sense. But for me, Lewandowski is just
I'll come
clear
in.
for me.
Look, I won't even criticize you for your cheeky Cazorla prop there.
Yeah, that was wild.
I won't even go into that. But
it had to
you
be
know
done.
what the key thing is, and I just thank you for saying my argument in regards to him. But it was perfect. I set it up nicely. It was brilliant. Do you know what the key difference between Lewandowski and Jorginho is? And the thing is, you can't take it away from Jorginho. Lewandowski wasn't there, and I'm sorry he wasn't. And I know he should have been, and he probably would have performed if he was there. But do you know who was there in every single round, performing in every single round? I think he had the most interceptions, had the most tackles in both the Champions League and the Euros. He was the most important guy in both teams. It's so annoying. I told Terry, it's so annoying that he missed the penalty in that final because I wouldn't have even budged. Like, it wouldn't have even been a debate.
It got saved. It wasn't even missed. It was saved. Do you know what it is as well, right? That him being there is a thing as well. It's like I know if buts and maybes are a big part of football, and buts are also, if you're not there, you're not there. Like if Cristiano Ronaldo didn't go off injured when Portugal won the Euros, they might not have won. But he did go off. They did win. The point is, you'd never go back unless you're the losing team, you'd never go back and replay football if you win things. You just got to take things as they come. But this is the final listings as we had them. But we do have some changes as we go towards the final 10 minutes. The first change was Mohamed, who put £5 in to move Mohamed Salah up. So Mohamed Salah goes into the top 10. But you didn't tell me who you wanted to come down. So I'm going to move Luis Suarez down out of personal choice. That's me. But if you want to move someone up, you've got to move someone down. You've got to move someone down, and you've got to tell us. The next thing, though, keep Jorginho at the top. So to remove Jorginho right now, it's going to cost more than £6 to get that done. And now there's another super chat here. This is how people support the football terrace. It's all a little bit of fun. We had another one here, another 2. Gravy is the goat at Christmas. Get this guy off. So it's another £2. That's going to cost £8, $8 or whatever to get Jorginho off of the top mark as it stands. As it stands right now. And I do get the Lewandowski argument. I do. Like, brilliant. Won trophies and everything else. But I feel like with Jorginho, Chelsea won. It's a hard thing, right? Because the Ballon d'Or is interesting because it's about the calendar year. And in that calendar year, you win the league by your start to the season as well. And they couldn't do that because they had Frank Lampard managing them as an example. But Chelsea have been so good. They barely concede goals. And he's so pivotal. People talk about who the driving force is. I think if you take Jorginho out of that Chelsea team for a prolonged period of time, 3, 4, 5 games, they don't win either. They don't win those trophies. I think he's that important. Same with Chelsea as well. Like for me, massive.
And we see that with Chelsea at times when Jorginho doesn't play, or he's been overplayed so much that he has a bad game and our whole thing just falls apart. And Chelsea fans, like since he's been here, have continuously been attacking this guy, abusing this guy, saying he's not good enough, he's terrible. It was only a year ago people were saying, or about a year and a half ago, people were saying, sell Jorginho and just play Billy Gilmore, that he's not that good anyways. And now all of a sudden, because we win the Champions League, Chelsea fans are fawning over Jorginho. Like,
it's a results-based business.
Yeah, but there's no, like, it's just a switch 180. There's no apologies, no nothing. And I think winning at the Ballon d'Or, or at least being in the top 3, will be so much retribution because he deserves it. He's been the best player, in my opinion, this calendar year.
Do you know what's interesting as well, though, when it comes to that kind of train of thought? The reason why English football fans, and I'm talking fans of predominantly English football, not English people in general, we don't appreciate that kind of role because we're not taught as children to appreciate people that can do that. It's all speed on the wings, people that score goals, and people that crunch into tackles. The crunchers, the people that slam into tackles. They're the people that raise. They're the people that like excite people. We don't like the cultured player. We just don't. Yeah. Mr. Fada here says Mbappe is overrated. Pace merchant, no minerals. Put Mbappe in shouldn't be included and move Aspie up. Chelsea fans are stepping up tonight.
Wow.
Mbappe not included. Cesar Azpilicueta, or as we like to call him, Dave, has been moved up. Showstar did put £2 in off of the head of Jorginho. So that means it's going to cost right now £6 to get Jorginho out. Winter Surfaces, J5 enough said. No gravy on a roast dinner. Shameful Gooner Express. I expected better.
I prefer peas and bangers, man. Like, allow me in it. Like,
yeah, but you need the gravy. Please keep him there. So that's another 5. So that now it's £11 to get rid of Jorginho. Mbappe not even in the top 30. The Football Terrace community is not having it tonight. Get them super chats in. We've got another one. Bruno up. Adiak and Fenwa down. Look at that. Bruno has been moved up into here.
Who's Akinfenwa? Lukaku's Akinfenwa. Oh my God.
Bruno's been moved up there.
Wow.
Bruno's been moved up there. United fans stepping up. Adi Akinfenwa. Big up Adi Akinfenwa. He's actually someone I really want to work with, I'm being honest. He's been moved up into that position. That's been done. Adi Akinfenwa, you know.
He also said Pogba's better than most people on this list, which, you know, I'd agree with.
That's cap. It's cap.
No.
We'll talk about it another time. It's okay. Carry on.
I think the flop.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when Pogba actually gets nominated. Yeah,
we'll talk about it when Pogba
next year maybe.
It's together a season that we can talk about. But now, man, look, I think you know the guys that I think deserve to be mentioned or that didn't get nominated are guys like Renato Sanchez, Muller. I think Kimmich as well. The fact that they didn't get into the top 30.
Kimmich is a wild one. I agree with that.
Renato Sanchez, especially though, because he was one of the best centre mids in like Europe. He won the league, the French league, where PSG obviously didn't, and he was one of the main players in that. Obviously in Portugal, in the Euros, he was one of the shining lights. Like people are saying, "Rah, like he's really back." And whatnot. So I think he deserves a shout out as well, man.
It's the lack of PR though, isn't it? Like Lille don't have the fan base, and it's the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
But I agree. The one I do agree with is Thomas Muller. I think he gets disrespected. I think he has been disrespected his whole career. This guy's hitting at least 15 assists pretty much every season. You know, a good 15, 20 goals as well. Obviously, what he did with Germany, debatable. That might push him out of it, but I don't think again you can't win 3 trophies, have I think second most assists of any player this season. That could be wrong, but still have a lot of assists. It's just I can't believe he's not even in the top 30. It just baffles me.
It might come across as biased, but boy, you'll find it hard to find a better centre back than Rudiger this year. People forget that Thomas Tuchel came
in the calendar year. I agree.
Yeah. January 2021 is when Tuchel came in. And he changed. Rudiger looks like a different breed. Like he looks world class. The fact that on Twitter now you're seeing people actually say Rudiger made a mistake in this game, like shows you they're putting him on a pedestal because he's been performing at such high heights. Look, I'm not saying Rudiger's the best centre back in the world. I'm not saying any of that, but I don't think there's been a better centre back this calendar year.
At the moment,
we can say the same about. We can say the same about Andreas Christensen as well. Like I was surprised those two weren't on the Ballon d'Or list.
I mean, I get why Christensen didn't, but I can see why you would want him included, of course. But I think if there was one player from Chelsea that I would include is Rudiger for sure, easily.
Yeah, even Mendy as well.
We've had some super chats here, people that I've got to go to. So the first super chat says, on second thought, bun Ronaldo out, put Aspie into the top 5. So Aspie goes up top 5.
Jesus Christ.
Ronaldo, he can't go that quite he can only go one. He can only go one. So it's somebody else out of this list you've got to pick to go down. I'm going to pick Mo Salah because he was bottom of that list. No, Mo Salah got paid to go in there, so did Bruno. So it's going to be Haaland that drops down. But you can super chat more to let me know. The next one says Salah up, CR7 down. So Salah goes up into Ronaldo's position and goes down here. That's been done.
Okay.
And then what do we see here? J5 deserves it, no debate. So that's another £3 or £4. But the Football Terrace extra, Bruno into the winning space there. Jorginho down.
No, Terry, calculate it.
No, it was £11, and that's 17. That's 17. That puts him up. But then what do we see here? This. Lukaku up, Salah out has been done. Now Lukaku goes up, and it's Mohamed Salah. Where is Salah gone? You can only go up one. You can only go up one here. So we can go up one position, and it means then we need to push somebody down. Ruben Diaz drops down. You can't push someone up more than one category. Oh, Jorginho to the winners list here. Father stepped up. Has stepped up here. So Jorginho goes back. Bruno goes back into the top 5 as it stands right now. J5 has been instrumental in the success of Chelsea winning the Champions League in Italy. He deserves to win it. That's another 10 now.
You switched. You got to switch Aspie and Jorginho and then Bruno and then.
Oh, sorry. I clicked on the wrong person. It's because white people all look the same. He goes back up there, and Aspie goes down 1. That's how it stands right now. It's going to cost now over £13 to get rid of Jorginho as it stands right now. Keep them super chats coming. 5 minutes remaining on the show, people. That's how it is ending as of now. Keep them super chats coming in, people.
The super chatters have made this a messy list. This is a wild list.
Speaking of Messi, I can't believe they haven't moved Messi yet. I'm surprised.
Messi fans are not even here. They're not even here.
They're too busy bantering Ronaldo, but at least Ronaldo's in a.
Wait, where's Messi? Is he in the top 10?
I think he's 7th. Yeah, around 7th, still, isn't he?
Oh,
that's
has to be done.
Yeah, it's a bit of
prime to blame. Well, no one disagrees with me.
No, but can we talk about like that? Like, obviously, Messi's been good this year, but I agree with Prime when he says the thing about. I don't agree with 7th. I would actually put Messi 3rd in my list. I just edged Jorginho 2nd. But it's that Copa America is really like pushed him higher than I think he deserves, in a sense that like people are saying undoubtedly he wins it, no one gets close, whatever else. Yeah, the Copa America is impressive. They haven't won it in 25 years. He was easily the best player in it by a mile. But you do have to look at the competition. You also have to look at the fact that Argentina haven't won it in 25 years, but it's Argentina. Like it's Argentina.
No, but that's not a reason to know.
No, I'm not. No. In the final, he wasn't the greatest. He wasn't.
If you want to say in the final he wasn't great, but how many finals he's allowed?
No. I'm not debating that. I'm not saying he can't. But
I'm tired of this. Look, I'm telling you now, Messi doesn't deserve to be there. Because if you do want to go on based off of everyone here, if I go off everyone's criteria apart from Prime's, because Prime's criteria there was none. That's not my problem, bro. He had the
that was legendary.
He had the trophies. Because you're saying the Copa America is the whole thing. No, the Copa America might be the narrative, and whilst I might not agree with the narrative, bro, every player has a narrative to why they're in their certain position. Messi was still the best player in La Liga. Messi was still very, very good in the Champions League. I don't know if you've forgotten that very great goal he scored against PSG. He just had no help to take him over. He had great performances in that. And he was also the best player in the Copa America. Like, it's not...
Guys, sorry, Winter Surfer has moved Messi down. You've got 1 minute remaining, people. 1 minute from now, and I am counting. Messi's been moved down. We put Ruben Diaz up. Selection says J5 is overrated. Throw them in the bin. Mo Salah has been picked from obscurity.
Oh,
I
Lord.
can't even see him on the list
my.
right now. Where the hell has he gone? Where's
He's
Mo
second.
Salah? Mo Salah's in second. He's up there.
Second, yeah.
Jorginho's been pushed down. It's going to cost over. It's
That's
going to
mad.
cost £17 at minimum to get him out of there as it stands right now.
Jeez.
And
Fat
Father's
Fat
come in
Tur's
and
out to
says,
bust the
put
bank.
Jorginho back
Yes.
to winner.
Oh, Lord.
And
Yes.
there's 30 seconds remaining. Jorginho goes
go.
back.
Oh,
That
Lord.
means it's £30 to get Jorginho out, give or take a little bit of inflation. With 30 seconds to go on the show this evening, Chelsea fans are celebrating in their droves. There is 20 seconds remaining, people. If you want to get any more super chats in, you've got 20 seconds. You're into the last 10 seconds to get them into us right about now. We did have one final one come in here. It's only for a smaller amount. Get Aspie out of there, put him into empty space as we go into the final 5, and then 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Wow.
Stop the count.
Wow.
Stop the count, ladies and gentlemen. That is where it ends tonight. More on J5 is what right at the end again from Fada. He's backing his guy there. Any that come in after this point, we will carry them forward to a different debate for you. So if you have submitted something right now and it comes through in a few seconds late, I'm very, very sorry. We'll carry it over to another stream. Remember, it's all just a bit of fun and games in terms of supporting the Football Terrace. So thank you. Father backing his guy tonight. Selection as ever amazing. Winter Surfer, Red Wolf, Ruin, sorry. Who else? McAvee here. Man like KJ with the extra account there doing his thing, bruv. I'm going to have to pay that. I'm going to have to give you the that's going to have to come out your wages now, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Taking it out of the Football Terrace account like that. There we go. Dare I say, Kenny, Ads, Neil, everybody that super chatted tonight. I appreciate it. Boys, it was a good show, though. I enjoyed that. It was a good chat. It was a good debate.
100%.
Man like Prime putting Messi in like 15th position or whatever. I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see it.
I'm not impressed.
I'm glad no one disagreed with Harry Kane being nowhere near this list. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Egal disagreed a bit, but
yeah, as in the super chat is like left in there. In fairness, I think we were pretty fair, really. Like the thing with it is, I actually kind of feel like if you're outside the top 5, it don't even matter. Like we celebrate having 9th in the Ballon d'Or. It's when we got down to that top 5 that it really kind of kicked in. But the thing with it is, everyone's got, as we all know, everybody's got this different criteria, don't they? By the way, smash the like button, people, before you leave today. The criteria just changes. Like I try to keep mine the same. Like what Bruno did as a midfield player should have been much higher up the list. If United won the Premier League and he scored that many goals, he could win the Ballon d'Or. But it's the fact that if you're not winning them trophies, I just don't see how you can be in these conversations. And everyone knows I remain true to that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just a laugh. Even with the individual player rules, like player of the month, team player of the year, I'll banter a bit if a player wins. I hope that Ronaldo doesn't deserve it this season and wins it. I hope my point gets proven. And then it's like, because I've seen that so many years before where we all sit there and you're like, how has that person won it when these 5 players have all been better than him? It's crazy. But listen, there we go. Everyone who's tuned in this evening, was a great show. Thank you all for your time tonight. Back tomorrow. I can't wait. Look forward to Tuesday. Tuesday is my dream because then we end the Europe. We start building up to the weekend again. Proper football. Friday night on the terrace is back next week. It's going to be a lovely, lovely show indeed. Anyway, until next time, take care. Prime, Gunnar Express. Oh my Dizzy, man like Daniel. I know Gal had to leave. Thank you, everyone who's been here. Thank you. Take care. Good night. God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye bye.